Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we're going to do a full review of this Watchdives 6105 Willard Homage. Alright, so I purchased this watch sometime in mid-December. I gotta tell you, this watch is a steal. Alright, at US dollars 109 shipped to my door, I think this one represents the most value, and as the cliche goes, this one is a heck of a lot of watch for the money. Well, to be honest, this is not a brand new model. So Watchdives is an online store that sells all these Homage and micro brands made in China and all that. So they've got a whole lot of Homage style watches. They even sell St. Martin's and Heimdaller and all that. So this watch was previously known as Eddie's Dive or Steel Dive. So sometime last month or in November last year, Watchdives, the company, decided to have this one branded as their in-house brand, and they very cleverly named this one Watchdives. Alright, so you can definitely purchase this one off watchdives.com. Apart from the rebranding of the watch, this watch here definitely has a new logo, Watchdives logo. It also has a sterile case back. Let me just show you the case back. As you can see, it is full polish screw down case back, highly reflective here, and you can see my setup. You can see the clasp here, and on top of all these small little changes, we also have a new clasp, which is now a 2 trigger button style, so no safety flip lock anymore, and I think this is very well made. It looks really good. And of course, we've got this new female end link here, which definitely improves wearability as well as the looks. And now with the lens zoom in just a little bit, let me just run through with you some of the key specs of the watch. It's got a case size of 43.5 millimeters. That's excluding this humongous looking crown guard here, which gives off this iconic Willard look here, this cushion case diver. Overall thickness here is 13.5 millimeters, measuring from the base of the case back to the top of the flat sapphire crystal. And this one here does have a really nice bevel on the edge of the crystal. You can see here as I turn the watch case, really nice beveling, and there is also AR coating on the underside of the crystal. Luck width here on the Willard Homage is 20 millimeters, so this is staying true to the vintage luck width, and I think this one will look really good on a tropic or vintage style dive strap. L to L here is very manageable. It comes in at 47 millimeters. So due to this cushion case design, it also has sort of a hidden luxe kind of look. Here's some more measurements not mentioned anywhere on the official website. This one here has a bezel diameter of 41 millimeters, and it's got a crystal size of about 32 millimeters. Finally, it's got a really small crown. This one here measures at 6.3 millimeters, but it does offer very good grip by way of this knurling or grooves over here. And I think it fits really nicely into this crown guard, sort of disappears into the crown guard, and of course, this is going to help a lot with the wearability and fit of the watch. And of course, with all Homage watches or AliExpress style kind of watches, you are going to get the NH35 movement, which is sort of an OEM build of the Seiko 4R movement, and I would say there's nothing much to complain about this movement. It is very hardy, sort of a workhorse kind of movement. Do bear in mind that this watch is not the lightest. I had 5 links removed to fit my wrist, and it comes in at around 165 grams. So if you're a fan of lighter watches like myself, I think it is best to swap out for a rubber strap. On to the case build quality and overall design of this watch. So in terms of build quality, I would say this one here is more than decent. It is definitely punching way above its price tag. You know, I'm really feeling guilty for liking this watch. I'll be honest with you, alright? So as a watch reviewer, I think I should be paying respect to the original designs, the good designs and all that, but you know, this one here being a homage and all that, I do have my reservations, but upon receiving this watch, this quality here, I feel so guilty for liking it. So this watch here has a mainly brush finishing, at least from the areas that you're seeing when you're wearing it. So the top of the bracelet here, the top of the watch case, the cushion size, everything is done in a really nice brush finishing. And we do have the underbelly of the case here done in a polished finish, which is consistent with the original watch already. The original Seiko watches, they have more polished finishing than the Homage. We've also got the sides of the bracelet done in the polished finish. Very decent, okay, nothing fantastic. We're not going to get Sarasu polishing or anything like that, but hey, you're paying US dollars, $89, and I think this is more than decent quality. So even the finishing on the underside of the bracelet, very smooth, no sharp edges. We do have a little bit of sharp edges here on the corners of the clasp, but I think that's no big deal. On top of the sapphire crystal with AR coating, you're also getting this ceramic bezel insert which matches the dial really well. And let's have a listen to the clicking action here. So this is a 120 click bezel, and I must say the action here is even better than an entry-level Seiko bezel. So the clicks here are very defined, very audible. It feels more like operating an instrument as compared to the spongy Seiko bezel feel, and I think this is definitely a step up from the entry-level Pro Specs diver. To round out the part on the overall build quality of this watch, I'd like to bring your attention to this clasp here. Very nice clasp with the logo here, the Watchdives shield logo here engraved. This is not laser engraved. It does have a lot of texture going on here, and this clasp here is also milled with a very nice polished bevel on the side. On top of that, we've got 6 micro adjusts, and we also have a very nice fully milled solid Caesar here to the clasp. Okay, so I very much prefer this one. It feels slimmer and easier to operate than any Seiko bracelet. And now let's move on and talk a little bit on the dial design. So this dial here, the deep sunburst blue dial, just looks fantastic. It does remind me of one of the Seiko Turtle, right? I think the reference is SRPC 25 or 23K1. The dial here goes from dark blue to electric blue under different lighting conditions and just looks fantastic. On the other hand, I'm not such a big fan of this bright blue type of bezel insert. I know it matches the dial very well, but I think if it was just a little bit darker, I would appreciate it more. I'm also not a big fan of the lume pip here. I think a nice lume dot would be good. We've also got minimum text going on the dial here. Just the Watchdives logo at 12 o'clock area, and at the 6 o'clock area, we've got the automatic text and depth rating. So very simple dial here. No chapter ring. The printing of the minute track here is on the dial itself on the same level, and the re-hot here is done in yet another matching blue finish. I think it's some sort of painted aluminum here, and it looks fantastic. So overall, the execution of this watch here is fantastic, along with the applied markers and this pencil handset, which is a straight inspiration or a copy over from Seiko's watches. And here's a look at the wrist shot of the Watchdives Homage. Here you can see that this bicolor lume here is just fantastic. Glows like a torch. So we've got BGW9 lume for the bezel insert, and we've got C3 lume for the hour markers. Just look fantastic here, this two-tone lume. Let's zoom back out for a wrist shot of this watch. My wrist is about 17 cm, 6 3/4 inches, and you can see that this one here fits so well. As with all Turtle and Willard case shapes, we've got this really nice scooped underbelly or case side, and sort of makes the watch disappear into your wrist. Very good fit, very good wearability. It doesn't feel like it's the lightest watch, but in terms of wearability, this is just fantastic. And I just love this new style clasp here. Very easy to wear, very easy to operate. Now let's do some size comparisons between the Willard Homage and some of the watches I have in my studio today. So first up would be the Seiko Turtle. This is my own SRPC 91K1. So as you can see, both watches have the same style here, 4 o'clock crown and cushion shape. And I think in terms of dimensions, they're also very similar. So 44, 45 millimeters case size, and thickness is about 13.5, 13.6 millimeters. So I would say they really wear and feel very similar. And now we place the Samurai next to the Willard Homage. You can see that Samurai is slightly bigger by way of this bigger crystal size here. And of course, in terms of thickness, they're also very similar, both again at around 13.5 millimeters. The Samurai here is a little bit heavier, coming in at closer to 180 grams when sized to my wrist, whereas the Willard Homage comes in at around 160 grams. And in summary, I like to say that this watch here, the Willard Homage from Watchdives.com, I think this is probably the best value watch of the year. Alright, so depends on which year you're looking at. So this one here came out at the end of 2022, and I think it represents very good value. You're getting a way more expensive watch than what you're really paying for. In terms of build quality and materials, and for the price point, I think this watch here is definitely a winner. Like I said, I feel very guilty and more or less ashamed of myself to really like this watch. So there you have it. That was my full review of the Watchdives Capt Willard Homage. This one here is definitely going to be a winner. Please don't miss upon this watch if you're in the market looking for a Willard style kind of diver. This is Andy in Singapore together with George and Rolly Polly. We're gonna see you next week for more watch reviews. Bye bye.